Alright, hello everyone. So today I'm going to read chapter 1. Before I begin, I've noticed right now I've only had time to really do a deep edit on one chapter a day. And I have 60 chapters, so it might take to the end of October or the beginning of November just to finish this. And then one or two read-throughs. So this novel may not be coming out until about the beginning of November. I was hoping it would be sooner, but it's not. But let's go into the reading, and if you take a look, and there's one main reason I'm sticking to one chapter right now, and that's the first chapter, is just to kind of show you kind of like my level of thought and how I write and how things change when I'm writing, I guess, because I'm trying to inspire more people to write or do something creative because it enhances consciousness. But anyways, let's begin with chapter 1. Or let's get into this chapter, and I'll be reading the first 15 chapters on here when my novel comes out. I'll wait for the novel to get to me, and then I'll do that. But anyway, here we go. The ice cracked like bones beneath the cobalt sky. The void beyond Titan, Saturn's shrouded moon, loomed as a silent requiem, pulsing with chaotic destruction. Methane lakes formed a frozen mosaic, shimmering like shards of multicolored glass beneath rusted amber clouds. In the stillness of the mournful rhythm, Titan wept silent tears of ice for its lost epics. It was a reflection of Gadreel's own forgotten sorrows, the reverberation of nostalgic memories, forgotten yet echoing for an eternity, captured Gadreel in the moon's gravity. Titan bore the weight of these silent sorrows, anchoring Saturn's darkness and quietly distributing destructive frequencies through the solar system. Gadreel, an angel forged in the fires of Yaldabaoth's will, materialized in a cascade of celestial light. His form was a glowing scar against the cosmic dark, as if driven by an unseen gravity. His hand reached out hesitantly toward the shadowed dunes, yearning to bridge the gap between memory and destiny. In this all-consuming void, unspoken memories echoed, former universes that failed to achieve Yaldabaoth's goal. His silver eyes, sharp as starlight, swept the sand, a reflection of his own inner desolation and longing. His cloak trailed on an invisible tide of energy. In the days of Saturn, he murmured, his voice low, the purple and Luciferian kingdoms drained this world's riches, treasures abandoned by time's cold hand. The hourglass has flipped. Will time's cyclic nature repeat as it did in the days of Saturn? Memories surged faster than light. Drilling rigs rose like iron titans, their machines echoing across Titan's barren crust. The air smelt of burnt oil and metal, a metallic tang that clung to Gadreel's senses, reminding him of the weight of his duties. The ground vibrated with the thunderous roar of engines, each mechanical heartbeat a witness to his complicity, not just as a functionary, but as a soul deeply entwined with the dark machinations of Yaldabaoth. Ships lay frozen in time, silent relics that painted a perfect silhouette framed by Yaldabaoth's design. Gadreel had severed. Gadreel had served as a demiurge's herald, a celestial guardian of those ventures, his power bound to those ambitions. Yet beneath the veil of loyalty lay a more tormented truth, a longing to achieve a power of his own, in the fear of becoming obsolete or powerless in the grand scheme of things. He was trapped as much by his desires as by the shackles of duty. Each memory was a snare that tightened, driven by an ever-present awareness of his role in the greater narrative, tethered by strings he couldn't cut. The nostalgia was a quiet wound. It ached for the kind of purpose he once had, untouched by centuries of unquestioning obedience. As he reflected, a tremor rippled through Saturn's rings, a celestial warning louder than his turmoil. The divine command ceased, leaving a silence in which the weight of his memories settled in, each one sharp with the horrors he had unleashed at his master's bidding. His yearning for meaning shifted, becoming a longing for clarity, a life unclouded by relentless duties. Each planetary quiver reminded him anew of loyalty's cost. Torment threaded through his thoughts and the universe itself. The stain upon his soul lingered. Every shadow in his mind was a testament to all that he could not forget. He lingered weightless, his unseen wings stirring in the ether in a faint glow. His gaze rose to Saturn's rings, a fractured crown of ice against the cosmic dark, reflecting his inner struggle. The gas giant loomed above, gold and ochre bands swirling with silent storms. "It's time to bring back the golden age," he declared, his voice a prayer flung into the void. Saturn was a portal to Yaldabaoth's abode, the former sun that gave birth to this solar system. His words became a summons to the architect who called him. Gadreel streaked toward Saturn's north pole, comet-like with trailing stardust. Below the hexagonal storm loomed a six-sided hexagonal heart pulsing in the planet's swirling clouds. Lightning flared within, jagged bolts that burned his silver eyes like a lover's gaze, searing, intimate, yet laced with welcoming pain. The light revealed glimpses of former realities shimmering in the vortex's depths, each a silent echo of Yaldabaoth's ambition. Gadreel's cloak snapped in the etheric wind as the storm's pull tugged at his celestial form, both majestic and merciless. The hexagonal storm spun a vortex of geometric precision, Its six-sided churn was masked by rolling clouds. Lightning revealed hell in sharp flashes. Yaldabaoth's cunning disguise was a spectacle masking a portal to his stronghold. At the storm's edge, Gadreel paused, heart pounding with reverence, his breath caught in awe, and a flicker of dread sang with celestial resonance. His mostly invisible wings trembled, their faint glow flickered like a candle in a gale. "A true architect," he whispered, voice barely audible over the storm's roar. His chest was tight with awe, yet succumbing to dread. "I come, my God, to serve your will and to fulfill your desires." The hexagon's geometric precision felt like a challenge to the chaos within him, a reminder of Yaldabaoth's unyielding will. As he plunged into the vortex, the radiant tunnel enveloped him, its brilliance a scalding embrace that made his skin prickle and his breath catch, beckoning him toward the sanctum with a promise of glory and peril. The transition, a jolt, void yielding to opulence. In Yaldabaoth's sanctum, Gadreel's boots sank into the crimson carpet, its warmth seeping through the soles like stepping on a living heart, pulsing with oppressive vitality. The air was thick, heavy with the tang of ancient power. The walls of obsidian gleamed with a sheen that seemed to wreathe under the dim red glow. Above, the ceiling loomed, a silky abyss that swallowed light. The chamber thrummed, a low hum that vibrated in his bones, as if the sanctum itself breathed with Yaldabaoth's chaotic will. The chamber glowed with a dark red hue, born of a clash between floor and ceiling, shadows twisting across obsidian walls, and a vision of dimensions colliding in chaotic splendor. 6 screens lined the space. One flickered, drawing Gadreel's gaze like a moth to a forbidden flame. The Black Knight satellite's feed revealed Eden's verdant heart, a realm of life in stark contrast to the vastness of the cosmos. Here, within a primeval garden, emerald leaves swayed beneath a boundless sky, whispering of creation's dawn. This world ensnared souls in an endless cycle of servitude and rebirth. Gadreel's silver eyes were fixed on the flickering screen, where Enki stood alongside Adam. Their voices were soft but palpable, discussing the land's bountiful gifts. Enki's movements were precise and deliberate, his eyes alight with an inner flame, while Adam moved with an earthly grace. His brown eyes shone with quiet wonder, resonating with the garden's pulse, a life rhythm mirroring the universe's healing frequencies and fertility. A beacon for all who chose the path of light. Gadreel's lips curled into a mischievous grin, glee sparking in his celestial heart. "Incredible," he said, voice a conspirator's whisper, sharp with the thrill of chaos. "Enki, Adam, Sophia, how sweet it'll be to crack your fragile unity. I want to witness the fear in your eyes again as Lilith or Aphrodite takes control of your mind with blasphemy as your desire. His laughter erupted, a bright, jagged sound that echoed off the walls, but it faltered mid-breath. His gaze caught Adam's brown eyes on the screen, alight with quiet wonder, unguarded and pure. A memory flickered. Gadreel remembered letting Enlil spare Sophia and Eden long ago, a fleeting act of mercy that burned in his chest like a buried ember. His hand tightened, silver eyes narrowing as doubt stirred, a quiet ache beneath his divine hunger. Then, in a sharp inhale, his laughter surged aloud. His laughter surged again, louder, as if to drown the moment, his grin fierce but fragile, and a herald recommitted to chaos, yet haunted by the spark of something softer, so he crushes that desire. In Eden's heart, Sophia paused beneath a towering tree. Its bark was warm beneath her trembling fingers. The garden's light bathed her as it weaved and filtered through the trees. Her dark hair shimmered, a river of midnight entwined with starlight, gleaming and winking as it reflected the light. But her amber eyes revealed a storm within. The unity forced by Enlil was a fragile deception, fraying at her soul's edges. She appeared whole, a temporary subterfuge from the previous cycle. Enlil had healed her so she could nurture Adam and Eden. Corruption from the elixir twisted below the surface, threatening to shatter her light and Adam's fate. Her radiance was a beacon in Eden's light, yet darkness wanted to bleed through, a pawn in Yaldabaoth's design, driving Adam toward the convergence. She fought sleep every night. She could not truly heal. Enki's words and actions sparked strength, but the elixir's corruption slithered beneath. A shadow curled like smoke, threatening to fracture her light and suppress her soul, leaving her frozen in her own hell. Nearby, Adam's laughter echoed as he spoke with Enki about the land's gifts. She pressed her forehead to the tree's rough bark and closed her eyes. Its scent, earthly and alive, filled her lungs. Hold me together. Her voice was a fragile prayer, barely louder than the breeze. The words were a plea to the garden, to the Creator, to anything that might hear beyond Yaldabaoth's gaze. Her breath hitched. For a moment she almost let the sob escape, but she forced it down, clinging to the tree as if it alone kept her from breaking apart. Then, a cold, sharp pang in her chest, like a scalpel teasing her heart. She closed her eyes, envisioning the light she was meant to carry, a beacon for Adam, for Eden, for the hope she refused to let die. The air grew heavy as Yaldabaoth appeared, his presence a storm of warmth and menace that dimmed the chamber's glow. Black and red robes swallowed the light, trailing like dying embers, a memory that etches and echoes in time, and his eyes, pools of amber fire swirling in a downward spiral, pierced Gadreel with an intensity that seared soul and steel. "You made it," he intoned, his voice silk and thunder. "What do you think of this place?" Gadreel straightened his grand, softening to deference, though mischief lingered in his silver eyes. "Unchanged since my last pilgrimage, crimson and shadow, A throne of your unyielding will that blends light, time, and space as dimensions collide where the portal opens wide. Its endurance humbles me, my God. His words were a careful dance probing the demiurge's mercurial heart. Yaldabaoth's smirk glinted with divine scorn. Endurance? He scoffed. Silence, slicing through the sanctum. This hollow shell cages me, Gadreel. It is my prison forged by the Creator's betrayal. I have remade it too often in my hunt for supremacy. He paced, robes swirling like a storm of captured suns. His amber eyes blazed with a god's hubris, piercing the void filled with shattered nebulae and unformed worlds. The chamber, a crucible of divine defiance, thrummed with realities yearning to kneel. A bronze glyphs flared, mocking the Paroma's light. I am severed from the true light, exiled by the All's decree. I will rise above their chains, he declared, a voice, a tempest carving existence. The convergence will merge realities, spherical, flat, hollow, into my throne, defying the Creator who cast me out. I'll burn their cosmos to ash and build my own. Every syllable was a decree to unmake the heavens. Gadreel's silver eyes gleamed with fervor. Let me fracture Sophia's light, my God. To draw Adam to your gateway, he urged, voice trembling with hunger. Gadreel yearned to continuously prove himself indispensable to Yaldabaoth by sowing chaos and ensuring Adam's submission. Yaldabaoth's grin was sharp with vengeance. Soon, you will go, Gadreel. Sow chaos in Eden. Shatter Sophia's unity. Compel Adam to seek the convergence, my crown forged in the exile. The chamber quaked, bronze light pulsing as if the Creator's gaze recoiled from Yaldabaoth's audacious dream. Gadreel's pulse quickened, wings stirring faintly beneath his cloak. Adam will bend to your will, Yaldabaoth paused. That could be a possibility, Gadreel. I have witnessed all this before, as I've destroyed and recreated this universe several times in my quest to find the convergence. So let me see what time reveals. I've had plans upon plans, and they've all failed. This time, though, in this universe, I have a feeling that I will succeed. The Creator thought to bury me, he said, his voice a low rumble that fractured into echoes. He reached toward the shimmer, fingers trembling slightly as if touching a memory of the Paroma's warmth. They called me flawed, a spark too wild for their perfect order. Exiled to this fractured cosmos, I was left to sculpt worlds that mock my chains. His snare faltered, eyes betraying a flicker of longing for the light he'd lost. He stopped, his gaze lifted to the ceiling's dark abyss. He searched for the light that had forsaken him. I will forge a new heaven, he declared, but his words trembled, not with rage, but desperate hunger. He was a god grasping for meaning in the ruins of exile. The convergence will be the gateway to my crown, Amber eyes flickered with vulnerability, then turned to Gadreel. Soon you will go and sow chaos in Eden. Let Sophia's fracture bring Adam to my gate, and I will rise above their chains. Beneath his command lingered a plea, a god begging to be whole. He turned to Gadreel, his presence still a storm of menace. The convergence, he whispered, voice thick with a desperate resolve, will unmake their decree. I'll weave the spherical flat and hollow universes into my majestic throne, and the all will kneel as I banish it to a void worse than hell. His amber eyes flared, but his hand lingered in the air, as if grasping for the forgiveness he'd never seek. Fracture Sophia Gadreel. Deliver Adam to me. Let my vengeance carve meaning from this exile. The words were a god's command, but beneath them lay the struggle of a soul desperate to prove its worth. Yaldabaoth's gaze grew distant. His voice was soft and mournful, weighed down by the burden of countless universes remade, a reflection of my will, he murmured, eyes lifting to the crystal sky where shadows stirred. His motivation was clear. Only by achieving the convergence could he finally find fulfillment and break free from his sense of loss. But it's not enough. Not until Sophia's fracture delivers Adam to the gateway and my reign begins. I will triumph in the end. It is inevitable. It is my fate. Yaldabaoth opened his hand. A shield of radiant energy enveloped Gadreel. Its hum a protective hymn against the weight of the celestial realm. This will guard you, he said, a rare tenderness flickering in his amber gaze. With a gesture, he summoned a luminous vortex at the chamber's center, its light blinding yet beckoning. Together they surged upward, the material plane dissolving into an expanse of impossible beauty and terror. Skies of fractured crystal scattering prisms of light, rivers of liquid fire, a horizon pulsing with creation's heartbeat. In the distance, a faint shimmer flickered, like a bubble at the universe's edge, a whisper of the convergence that fueled Yaldabaoth's soul. Then it disappeared. Gadreel's laughter broke free, raw with awe and dread. And you call the material plane false, he grasped, his eyes wide as he took in the splendor. This is the pulse of your power, divinity woven into reality? Your abode looks fake. As his laughter echoed the binding light around him, dimmed unexpectedly, casting shadows that danced and weaved through the once dazzling reality. A chill crept into the air, and a sudden, unbidden doubt took hold of him. Not of the brilliance he witnessed, but of the fragile lines that separated power from illusion. He hesitated, feeling the ground beneath him shift subtly, a harbinger of what was to come. What threat lies hidden beneath this veneer of divine splendor? He took a breath, his heart pounding with the anticipation of a looming conflict, and stepped forward, ready to face whatever awaited him in the depths of this deceptive paradise. Alright, that is it for today. And so that was chapter 1. More than likely, that's what chapter 1 is going to be like. There might be a few small edits between here and there, but not that much. But that's the opening to my upcoming novel, Lilith, Adam and Eve, The Dark, the Gray, the Light. Hopefully coming out between late October, early November. But other than that, I'm gonna see you guys off. Y'all have a fantastic one. I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know what you thought of what I wrote. Alright. I'll see you guys next week. And I believe I'll be doing another... Yeah, I'll be doing another Bible thing. And I think we're gonna go into, like, the Spartans. The tribe of Dan and the Spartans. How do they relate? Alright, on that, peace out. Bye.